on the same page, cause we sippin' the same drink. Here's a little something to thank y'all for showing up. Al Dean and the boys are about to blow it up. When the lights come on and everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song to the girl they're taking tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that with them, the smoke that with them, the party we're through, it's going on.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Roethlisberger's Panthers. So with kickoff approaching, let's send it over to our commentators here this afternoon, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault, and that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First and 10, it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
Carry for Thomas Rawls. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
When Shaq Thompson declared for the draft, I said he should be a running back in the NFL. He said no way, he'd rather hit people as a linebacker.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Block it in motion right. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trade in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
First down, Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Block it in motion right. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Wilson, and he finds Jimmy Graham. A gain of 8 and a 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. And this one through the uprights and good. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. They come out here in the eye. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a hunting down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Another carry now for Gurley. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, it's Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. They come out here in the I. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. On second down, Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Shift together here from the D-line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by guy playing the defensive tackle position.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Block it in motion right. They go play action here on first down. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Richardson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Roethlisberger to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And some room to work. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Yeah. The old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They come out here in the eye. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll be first down, Panthers. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cassius Marsh in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. A long way to go for the offense here on 3rd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 7. Yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Shift together here from the D-line. Again, Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And they're going to speed things up here. Now they send a man in motion right. On the ground, Rawls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong,
he rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On second down, Rawls. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the gun, it's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And his kick is right through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Panthers coming out now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. So so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now it's Lockett. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come out here in the I. First down, this is Rawls. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A nice strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them.
Cut back, left sideline. 18 yards on the pickup there. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
Wilson going to give to Rawls. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They're back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. That's caught at the 2. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A big run there by Gurley. 68 yards. So Gurley gashes the defense. A lot of people say, do you take running backs early first round? Do you want them that high? Surely you're happy you took Todd Gurley that early.
Without a doubt, Dr. Seuss. I love the way that got done by you. But even better, it's fun to watch Todd Gurley run the football. He is electrifying.
I want you to know that I did not mean to do that, by the way. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
I know he might be a little winded after that previous long run, but now you're in goal-to-goal situation. That changes what you do defensively, and it worked for them on that play.
Maybe trying to reward him after that long run. We'll see if they go back to him again on the ground. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They'll get the football here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a loose football. Rawls loses it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Roethlisberger will throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Easy. Watch the twist. Hurry up, let's go.
They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Jim Caldwell's guys cannot come through there on fourth down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Jump forward.
On second down, Wilson. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Rolls the lone man in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They come out here in the eye. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "What was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for. So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And Walker with it over the middle. And 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Roethlisberger, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll come out in the pistol. Wilson to give to Rawls. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Third and long, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So it'll be first down here after the run. Gurley again here on first down. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
They start on the ground with Rawls. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it the rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
Hey, big crowd right here. Check nickel.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points.
Very happy to get the 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
In motion is the tight end, Graham. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that anytime they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
defense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Hey, big drive right here. You got tight. You got tight right there. Back's mine. Back's mine.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And now the rookie's free. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a...